Good morning, guys. I hope you all are well. I just wanted to share a little something that I got this morning with you guys. So, this morning, after I spent time with God, I was just laying in my bed and I heard Him say, "The winds are approaching." And this was at 7:36 in the morning. So, I looked up 7:36 in the Strong's Concordance, right? So, in the Strong's Greek, it's related to the word artemin, which means the foresail, right? So on a boat, the foresail is like the sheets that are connected to the bow that when the wind comes, that's basically it fills the sails. So the foresail, and that's what moves the boat, right, along. And so the scripture that was attached to that word was Acts chapter 27, verse 40. And in this passage, Paul is setting sail to Rome. And on his way to sail to Rome, he ends up getting shipwrecked. Like there comes a big storm, right? And so it looks like the ship is about to go down. And so what they do is they decide to remove everything off the boat except the foresail, right? And to trust the wind and the waves to basically take them onto shore. I'm going to read the verse to you, okay? It says, "So they cast off the anchors and left them in the sea, at the same time loosening the ropes that tied the rudders, then hoisting the foresail to the wind, they made for the beach." Okay? So I know a little bit about boats because my father used to work on a boat for a long period of time. So so you need the anchors and the rudders to like steer the boat, right? And to keep it from flowing, like swaying and then ending up going into the waves, right? But they were trusting the winds and waves in the storm to carry them through the foresail to end up at land, right? And so essentially, by them removing the anchors and the rudders and trusting the winds and waves, they were actually trusting God to get them to land in the storm. And the way that I came to this conclusion was because in Luke, I believe it's Luke chapter 8. Let me see what verse it is. One second. Matthew, Mark. Yep. Luke chapter 8, verse 25. Okay. So here, this is where Jesus calms the storm when the disciples go out to sea and he ends up meeting them by walking on the water, right? And so it says on verse 25, he said to them, "Where is your faith?" And they were afraid and they marveled, saying to one another, "Who then is this that he commands even the winds and the waves and they obey him?" Okay. So God is in control of the winds and the waves. So the fact that in Acts chapter 27:40, that they removed everything off the boat, which is usually used to steer the boat, and just trusted the winds and waves to fill their foresails to get them onto shore, it shows that the message behind this is trusting God to get you where you need to go, okay? Now, in 736 in the Hebrew, the word associated to that was caravans, and it highlighted Genesis chapter 37, verse 25, okay? And it says, "Then they sat down to eat, and looking up, they saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead with their camels bearing gum, balm, and myrrh on their way to carry it down to Egypt." Okay, so what's going on in this passage is this is when Joseph's brothers decide that they're going to get rid of Joseph, right? Because they're jealous of Joseph's gift and they're jealous of the favor their father has on Joseph. So they throw him into a pit, right? And they were planning on killing him. But instead, because they see this caravan of Ishmaelites coming, they decide we're not going to kill him. We're going to sell him to the Ishmaelites instead. Okay. So essentially, we know that Joseph's purpose in life was to go to Egypt anyway, because he would become one of the governors or leaders of Egypt, and that would help fulfill the role that God had for him in his life, right? So essentially, this caravan of Ishmaelites coming was God's way of ushering Joseph into his calling, into his purpose, because his brothers were going to kill him. But if they decided not to, because they saw this caravan of Ishmaelites. So here again we see this correlation between the scenario in Acts 27:40 and Genesis 37:25, where they both, basically it was God's hand, right, that brought them where they had to go. It was in Acts 27, it was God's hand through the winds and the waves, trusting God to fill their foresail to get them onto shore. And it was God's hand that provided the caravan of Ishmaelites that kept the brothers from killing Joseph, thus thrusting him into his purpose. And so I knew that when God said the winds are approaching, what he's saying is, my help is coming. My help is coming. So, guys, I just wanted to share this with you because he just keeps reassuring us that despite what we're seeing, right, despite all the chaos and the turmoil, he is still in control. He is still watching over and caring for his children. And now he's saying his help is coming. So be encouraged, guys. Keep seeking the Lord. Keep asking him for direction and instruction during this time. Until next time, love you.